Alright, welcome to another RWBY fanfiction reading. This time it's red and white, or it should probably be called the laboratory with a view, because that's what the cover says instead of just red and white, which is very sort of a stereotypical title and it's probably happened a billion times before. But, you know. By KitKatxkittykat, which is one of the stupidest names I've ever heard. Probably the stupidest, if I'm honest. And it's a nice short story, only 7 parts, and we'll see how this goes. You know, I haven't actually mentioned that I haven't read this before. I didn't read the last one before, or the one before that. So that's why I don't know how these are going to go. Whereas for most of the ones I actually have read, despite the fact that I have read them, like, I don't know, possibly even like a year ago, which I think that's actually about happening. That, you know, a lot of these stories I read basically a year or more ago, you know, we're finally getting around to read, but you know, we'll see how good it is. So we'll start with chapter 1, A Quiet Day. Okay, this has nothing to do... See, you would think by, like, with... I think the cover has nothing to do with the story, which is kind of the sad part. Because usually the ones where, you know, they're, like, actual adults and, like, I don't know. I usually like the sort of, like, the alternate universe type things where it's just like, you know, it has nothing to do with them, you know, fighting things or, you know, because that's what, like, I don't know, that's what these stories are, because these stories don't really focus on fighting, they focus on the romance aspect in a way. Anyways, now that we're 2 minutes in, let's start reading. A Quiet Day. Another quiet day. Wow, that's a chapter name for the students of Beacon Academy. Well, besides the countless sparring matches in preparation for the Vital Festival tournament, oh, the joy of gunfire and sword fights. Bet there was a certain 8 students not... Oh, god damn it. But there was a certain 8 students not present in the fighting. Well, at least not at the arena. No, instead, these 8 students, the members of Teams RWBY and Juniper, were engaged in a battle of wits, cunning, and luck. They were in a doubles battle helping the Kingdoms of Remnant defeat the others in mortal combat. Nora, Valkyrie, Lai, Ren, prepare your kingdom for battle, RWBY exclaimed. Bring it, Nora replied with a smile. Busted ear to ear, sure. Oh, great. Ran added a few hours past of playing, and they all packed their game up. What? Okay, you're just gonna end it? Oh, I didn't realize it said coma bat. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't realize that said coma bat. There was a good joke in there. Oh, great. Ren added a few hours past of playing, and they all packed their game up. What? Why? What if I wanted to hear this? Anyways. Oh god. RWBY and Yang ending up victorious for the Kingdom of Vacuo as they walked back to their dorm. Yang and Blake decided they would get food for everyone and they could meet at the dorm while Weiss and RWBY went to the dorm to plan their next day. RWBY quickly entered the room and sprouted a large binder of plans to go through with Weiss. "Do you steal my binder again?" Weiss asked, smiling a little. "No, I didn't steal it again. You just never took it back," she replied. "Okay, so your binder of plans," Weiss started. "What do you have in mind?" "I think we should start tomorrow by looking into some more missions and bettering ourselves as a team." RWBY was beaming when she finished. Weiss smirked and yawned slightly before sitting on her bed below RWBY. "That sounds like a plan to me, RWBY." Weiss yawned in her speech again as Yang and Blake returned with food for the 4 of them. Well, that was a terrible reading. "Hey, we're back, guys," Yang shouted eagerly as she carried in a bag of food. "So how did the planning go? Did you plan something actually not boring for us to Weiss, or to do, Weiss, or are we studying all day again? Weiss gave her a joking look. Well, Ruby did the planning tonight. I just listened, so it would be better to ask her. The girls all ate and got ready for bed. The tournament officially started tomorrow, after all, and they would need rest well for their fight the next morning. So why were you planning things to do? If you have a fight, you have a fight tomorrow. This is why the inconsistencies in stories are the most annoying thing. Like that's the part that I get the most annoyed at, is the inconsistencies in stories. Although you make sure that they make sure they are pointed out. Someday, huh? Ruby and Weiss were on their way out of the arena. The fight had gone superbly well for Team RWBY, having dominated a team from Haven. Needless to say, those Haven students needed to brush up a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure that quite makes sense. I mean, if they need to brush up a bit on their studies, then, you wouldn't have beaten them that badly. But, if you beat them that badly, they may need to sweep themselves off the floor, if that's what you're saying. Which is a much better insult than they need to brush up a bit on their studies. God damn. Okay. Weiss. Wow, that was terrible. Weiss. Without an extra S. Ruby whined, to which Weiss turned around. What is it, Ruby? I already congratulated you on today. I know, I just like saying your name like that. She laughed a little, and Weiss turned back around as they headed back to their dorm to study a bit before taking on a new mission as a team. Some time passed, and they were in the heart of Vale before Ruby spoke again. Can we get coffee or something to drink? There's a cafe right there. I can pay. Weiss sighed slightly, although she knew getting something to drink would be nice. We just have to look. We should have just took the ship with Yang and Blake, she thought to herself. Yes, we can stop and get something to drink. They walked into the cafe, which was mostly empty, save a waiter and a few others. So what would you two ladies like this afternoon? What? Okay, the waiter had come up on them completely silently, and Weiss jumped a little, having been slightly scared. I beg your pardon. Oh, the drinks. So sorry. Weiss flushed, a little embarrassed. She seemed to have been lost in RWBY. She couldn't take her eyes off her for some reason. I'm just too tired to look away, she said, almost justifying herself in her mind a little. Hello, remnant to Weiss, RWBY said, and she looked back at Weiss, somewhat confused. She's not usually this spaced out. Well, just tell me if she wants anything, and I'll bring it right out. Okay, I'll just have milk. Weiss kept staring at RWBY, who seemed not to notice. And one thought kept buzzing through her mind. She's a complete dunce and a nuisance, and sometimes a bumbling dolt, but sometimes she's super adorable. RWBY looked back at Weiss. She had thought she was pretty for a long time, although she could never find the right way to tell her. She thought about maybe leaving a little poem or note under her pillow, but that seemed too cheesy. Plus, what if Weiss didn't like her back? What would she do then? Weiss wasn't so out of it. She hoped to make this sort of a date, but it wasn't working out very well. The waiter brought RWBY her milk, then walked back into the kitchen area, leaving the girls alone in the room. RWBY took a drink, then got up to leave for a moment, and Weiss yelled in her head, "No, you dunce, I wasn't done looking at you yet." What the fuck? Like, that's almost, like, creepy and stalkerish in a way. Like, I have read a story where it's like Yandere Weiss, which we may end up reading at some point, because I think it was a very entertaining story, but this is just weird. I mean, that is weird as well, but like, this is just like, okay. Okay, what? Hold on. Okay, no, you dunce, I wasn't done looking at you yet. Wait, what has gotten into me? Maybe I should just tell her, or maybe show her. She snapped out of her trance-like state almost instantly. RWBY, could you come here for a moment? RWBY froze and came back. Yeah, sure, decide what you want to drink. She was caught by Weiss's lips hitting hers suddenly. And that's the end of the chapter. What? How? Ruby let the kiss linger for a moment before pulling their lips apart. As she did, she was deeply aware of Weiss's blushing, just as deeply as she was. Weiss, why did you? Ruby asked softly, before Weiss softly pressed her finger to Ruby's lips, shushing her. No more talking, and no telling Yang or Blake just yet. We should keep this between us for now, okay? Now come on, they're going to wonder where we've gone. Yeah, but you... whatever. But Weiss, we don't really have to, do we? Ruby was speaking without even thinking about what she was saying. Her feelings for Weiss. What? We're making her act in a way she couldn't put her finger on herself. What? Commas, grammar, proofreading. Jesus. 3 things you need. Commas, grammar, and proofreading. Jesus. The 3 fundamental lessons of an English class. Ugh, I'm sorry. I don't think I can take this anymore. I don't think I can take this anymore. And then it hasn't been updated in over 2 years, and it hasn't been finished either, so... yeah, what the fuck? I don't even know what's going on here. So confused. I don't understand. It's just things happen, and then there's a small diner, her and Ruby decided the first date. So told what? It's a fuck. I'm so confused. Anyway. Oh God. I guess if you wanted to, for whatever reason, see the rest of the story, then you can go and read it. But I probably wouldn't recommend it because from the small sentences I've read of the remaining chapters, which, you know, was just in the past couple seconds or past like 20 seconds or whatever, it's not very good. I can't really take any more of this. But good news, next time is probably the best story I have read so far. At least the best story that I will be reading on this channel. Again, at least, you know, for now. I mean, I assume it'll last quite a while, but, you know, it's really good. So just stick around for next time. We'll have something that I think is really good, although it's not finished, and I'm so sad about it, but, you know, it's just really good. So yeah, I need to stop rambling so much. I tend to do that. I'm starting to do it right now. So let's just end, please.